When we became Christians and were baptized to become one with Him. Do you tell others? Do these words come out of your mouth that I've been made one with Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
Have those sweet words come out of your mouth, or are those forbidden? Are those like forbidden words for you to say? Or you have, you need to realize as a believer that's what needs to come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I've been made one with Him. How? And I'll tell you who's gonna oppose you is a legalist.
Yeah.
Because they can't figure out, how did you achieve that? And they're going to say, oh no, you can't achieve that. Because in their realm, in their existence, that's all they know is achieving. And they haven't achieved that one, and therefore if they haven't, who do you think you are? You're not going to run past them. You can't achieve being one with Christ. Hello? Did I say I achieved it? Did I say I received it as a gift? Did you miss those words? Let me say it again. I received it as a gift. That's what He hung on the cross for. That's why He did what He did. God gave His Son. And I made one with Him in His death. He made Himself one with me. This wasn't my idea. I didn't approach Him and say, hey, I have a great idea. What do you think? He condescended, the Son of God, the Holy One, the Righteous One, the only Son of God, condescended to meet you in one place and one place only. And there He gave Himself for you. Have you forgotten that when we were baptized into union with Christ Jesus, we were baptized into His death? Or are you ignorant? This is the Power New Testament. Are you ignorant that we, as many as were baptized in Messiah Jesus, were baptized into His death? This is Barclay. You must be well aware that all of us who've been baptized into union with Christ have by that baptism been united with Him in His death. We do not find the word union in the King James Bible. That could be part of the problem.
Oh no.
Really?
It's not in the King James. No. Whoa. Know ye not that so many of us, as were baptized into Jesus Christ, were baptized into His death? That's King James. Doesn't say anything about union. Doesn't say anything about being made one.
What verse is that?
Romans 6, verse 3. Have you forgotten that when we became Christians, we were baptized to become one with Him? Oh, we read that. Or didn't you realize, this is the Message Bible, or didn't you realize we packed up and left there for good? You packed up and left for good. That old country where sin was sovereign. You packed up and left for good. You left for good. I don't live in New Orleans anymore. I lived there for 10 years. I do not live there anymore. I live here in Harrisburg.
Hey.
Yeah.
I packed up and left for good. I didn't leave any of my stuff there.
Yeah.
And I'm going, my basement is full of stuff. Why did I even bring it? I don't know. But that's not even a good picture of what happens in our salvation. You don't pack up and take the stuff with you. He burns the house and everything in it.
Oh, yeah.
He buys the property and he calls it, it's a tear down. He buys the property and he just tears it all down. It's levels. You're a tear down. He didn't like the house or anything in it. I know you have some of your mama's antiques in there, but he doesn't like any of it. Hey!
Get out! Destruction! Burn it down!
Old gifts from the family. You know what? You don't need any of it. You don't like any of it.
I had a dream about it. I didn't have fire insurance.
This is what, seriously, even in New Orleans, this is what there were areas that they go, you know, the property is worth, the land is worth the money, not the structure. So people buy old houses that can't even fix them or repair them. They're just horrible, but it's the land that's the value. So they buy them and they're called, it's tear down. You just tear it down and build a new structure, a brand new structure. Tear down. Okay, Romans 6:4. Therefore, we were buried with him by baptism into death, that like as Christ was raised up from the dead by the glory of the Father, even so we also should walk in the newness of life. That's the King James, verse 4 of the 6th chapter. Here's today's English. By our baptism, then, we were buried with him and shared his death. You shared his death. If you've been water baptized, that's what that little ceremony represented. You shared his death. It's much more than being obedient, isn't it? Way more than being obedient. I was baptized, water baptized, because I wanted to be obedient to those around me. I'm new at everything. I don't know anything. I just have to listen to what they say and take their word for it. They tell me, obey. You must do this. I go, okay, I will. I will. And they instructed me that Jesus himself was obedient and submitted to John. And that was humiliating. You know, it was a humiliation. Christ, you know, submitted to John, a man, for this baptism. So this will break pride in you. And it's just all these other things they just added in there.
Oh.
Christ being manifest in a physical body was a humiliation. You know, every activity, it was, you know, the humiliation of Christ. All of it was, you know. Wow. Whoa. Did they believe it was Jesus? Were they persuaded after all the miracles that was him? Would you be persuaded still that you're dead to sin if he stood and manifest his body? Probably not. No.
Oh.
How? Living Bible, your old sin-loving nature was buried with him by baptism. That's kind of explicit. Your old, in case you're not sure what died with Christ, your old sin-loving nature. So if you feel anything in you still loves sin, that's a line that can only be broken not by your effort to overcome the sin and step on it and fast and pray your way out of it. It's broken only by reading the Bible again. One more time. Let me read it another way. When we were baptized, we shared in the death of Christ. When the water flowed over us, it was as if we were in the grave with him. Oh! I do not even remember what I just said. I have to look at the tape to remember what I said. I don't know. Woo! In our